Hey, I want to talk to Samson. Albert Pujols recently hit home run number 660. If he doesn't get to 700 home runs, do you think anyone else in MLB currently has a real chance to achieve that milestone? Awesome. Thank you for asking that. It is the most bizarre thing. We live in an era where home runs are rampant. Everyone's hitting home runs. Now, the steroids are gone for the most part, but home runs are up. Launch angle, people are striking out at record rate. They're hitting home runs at record rate. So obviously, somebody is going to pass A-Rod at 696 or at least catch Pujols at 660. Has to be. No. I will say now, there is not one player currently playing Major League Baseball who will get to Albert Pujols at 660. Now, let's do the math and let's have the argument. Because the first name you're going to say it on 3. Ready? Everyone at once say it. You're listening to the show or watching the show on YouTube. Thank you, by the way, for downloading and subscribing. Tell your friends about Nothing Personal. On 3, the name you're thinking of who is going to get to 700. 1, 2. Now, is it like rock, paper, scissors, shoot? Or is it rock, paper, scissors, and you put it out on the shoot? That always gets confusing. We're going to say it on 3. 1, 2, Trout. Did you say it? Did you say Mike Trout, who's 28 years old, been in the league 10 years? You know how many home runs Mike Trout has? What's your guess? I'm going to guess 300 home runs. Let's say that Mike Trout has 300. Coco, what's his exact number? Is it 301, 300, whatever the number is? 301. For math purposes, let's make it 300. He's got to hit 400 more home runs. No problem. That's 40 home runs a year for 10 years. Got that? Do you think Mike, not counting this year, because this year is not a full season? That means for the next 10 years, you think Mike Trout will average 40 home runs. Anyone want to take that bet? Anyone? Name another player. 1, 2, Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera, a first ballot Hall of Famer. Guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer. Triple Crown winner, World Series winner. Just too good to be true. 37 years old. He has 483 home runs. You think he's going to hit 200 more home runs? Let's say that he plays for 5 more years, which he can't, but let's say he does. He needs 200 home runs in 5 years. You see Miguel Cabrera hitting 40 home runs a year for 5 years? Anyone? Anyone? No chance. Give me another one. 1, 2. Stanton. He's got 311 home runs. He's 30 years old. He's signed for 7 more seasons. Is he going to hit 350 to 380 more home runs over 7 years? Do the math. Let's say it's even 350 home runs divided by 7 years. That's 50 a year for 7 years. And then he would only have 1 more than Pujols has now. He'd have 661. Hitting 50 a year, every year for the next 7 years. Oh, I know. Those in Philadelphia and San Diego are telling me, what about Tatis? What about Acuna in Atlanta? You're not even close. Bryce Harper's got a good chance. 227 home runs. He's 27 years old. He's got 11 years left on his contract. He's got to hit 450 more home runs to catch Pujols. That gets him to 677. So he's got to hit 475 home runs. 475 home runs in 10 years is 47 a year. Think he's going to do that over the rest of his contract? It's so weird when you ask a question like that, because it would occur to me that there's got to be somebody who's going to catch Pujols. It can't be. But Pujols and A-Rod, those guys are unicorns. Forget the steroids, forget everything else. The ability to hit as many home runs as they hit over the period of time that they hit them, players just don't have careers that long and are that good for that long. There is no one currently playing who will catch Albert Pujols or get to 700. Think about this. Barry Bonds, who leads the world in home runs, he ended with 700. We had this on the show where I got it wrong, like 760 home runs or something. The best sort of stretch of his career, now granted he hit 70 one of those years, etc. He only went 5 years hitting 40-plus home runs in a row. So just know that when I say a player has to go 5 years hitting 50 or 10 years hitting 40, it's just not going to happen. Thank you for So You Want to Talk to Samson. Appreciate that. Congratulations to Albert Pujols, of course. We are watching a legend.